you know me, you'll know how much I love the Audi RS e-Tron GT. It's been one of my favorite cars of the last year. It's brilliant in pretty much every single regard. But I've often wondered, how do you improve on a car as good as that? Well, today we're in very windy Oman to find the answer, because right next to me is the brand new 2025 RS e-Tron GT prototype. Let's take a look at the design. This is one of the things that I've wondered about for quite some time now. As it is a prototype, it is covered in a bit of a wrap, but this wrap is a little different. It's designed by a guy called Marco dos Santos, an artist who does a lot of Audi's wraps for their F1 car and the previous generation prototype of the e-Tron GT. But unlike those camouflages that hide away the important details, Marco's wraps kind of show you the important details, so we can actually see the changes Audi have made to the front end. It's still got the same kind of blanked off front grille and the kind of slightly annoying radar intake areas down here, which I'm not a fan of, but as you can see on the outer edges, it's a lot smoother than it was before. You haven't got these annoying, busy, horizontal strakes, which made the front look a bit too fussy in my eyes. That's a big improvement. The lights look the same, although they could change in time, but that's a good thing. And then around the side, pretty similar. We've still got the same wheel designs, except it's now got these little details on these blades. The side skirts look the same as they did before, but that's no bad thing. They start out quite thin at the leading edge, but then get a bit thicker towards the rear with a gradual slope down towards that trailing edge. There's a big change around the back though. It's still got that deployable rear spoiler, but they've changed the lower diffuser. This is a big departure from what we had on the current GT. I'm not sure if I'm as big a fan of this new design, but it does look cool. And overall, the RS e-Tron GT still has one of the best looking back ends in the business. But check this out. There's one feature of this car that I've got to show you right now, which I think you're going to absolutely love. This car has some really cool new suspension. And one of the things it does is when you open the door, the car will raise up to make it easier to get in and out of. Check this out. Yeah, that is way easier than the current car. And when you close it, once you're inside, you wait a couple of seconds and the suspension drops down for aerodynamics. But there's one other party trick this car does, which I think you're gonna absolutely love. Watch this.
The suspension can dance. A bit pointless, you might think, but what we're looking at here is a demonstration mode that shows off some of its capabilities. It can lean left to right to help it corner better, like a motorcycle. The front can raise itself under braking to prevent diving, and the rear can do the same, helping the car stay at an angle that's most appropriate to every driving situation. In theory, it might even be able to jump over obstacles, although Audi say that feature isn't one they have planned.
Now that is what I call cool. Okay, in a minute, I'm gonna get to drive this car, but today's drive is a little bit different because over here, I've got Christian Hartmann, the spokesman for Audi e-Tron GT. Now Christian, what's the idea behind today's drive?
As it still is a prototype, so it has not been finalized yet, we would like to invite our guests to go with this car on a test tour.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to find any problems left in this car.
Not only problems, I hope. I think you would like to assess the car already. Okay. Therefore, we have prepared a questionnaire. Me and my engineer colleagues are really appreciate your opinion because you are an enthusiastic car guy, and we would really like to have your honest opinion about the car as we're still in the development process.
Okay, so things like the braking, acceleration, the chassis, steering.
And what about also the e-Tron Sport sound?
Okay, cool. All right. So they trust me to give them appropriate feedback so that when this car is finally released, then it will be in the right shape for you guys. Are you sure you're asking the right person, Chris?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, well, let's see. Jump in and we'll go for a drive.
Yeah, thank you.
He's gonna regret this. So Christian, why on earth is it covered in all of these like condoms? There's like a condom all over the interior.
Does it look like condoms? It's covered because the launch will only be in the second half of next year, and then until this, it's a secret. Wow! This was a great start.
Weren't expecting that,
Yeah,
right?
no, no. Was it already a launch control?
No, that was just off the ground.
Off the ground.
launch.
Yeah.
It's quick.
It's quick, isn't it?
Is it faster than before?
What do you think?
It feels faster. I feel like I need to stop
Yeah.
and do a proper launch control.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah?
You know, I can't tell you the exact figures, but I think you are right. It's faster than the predecessor.
Okay, all right. Well, we know there's a timer in here. You know there's a timer in here. I can time it,
but
right?
we did speak about no figures today.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll run the timer and I'll look at it and then I will maybe a
Indication.
clue. Maybe a clue?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into, if I can get underneath here, drive select. Can I lift
Yeah,
up the
yeah,
screen
of
a
course.
little bit?
Of course.
Oh, what have you done?
Crazy. But don't tell anybody.
Okay, that's weird. Why have you done that? That's very strange. So that's how you do dynamic. Oh, okay, different.
Different.
All right. Okay, so now we've got launch control. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Wow.
Crazy.
Okay,
So what do we think? How fast have you been?
I can see how fast we've done it. I can see how fast we've done it.
Is
And
it faster than the predecessor?
It's definitely faster than the previous. Yes. What's the power?
The power, as I said, I can't tell you. It's up to your assessment.
So
what do you think?
I've got to feel how much power is in it.
Yeah, and because I know that you have right now a long-term testing car, I
Yes,
think
yes.
you are good in assessing how much power maybe we added.
Okay, so
Is it just a bit or is it a bit more?
The current one is at 646. 646 PS.
Yes.
So I've got to feel through my body
Yes.
how much more power you've got.
Yes.
That feels like over 100. That,
Maybe.
That 100 more.
100 more?
700 odd horsepower.
Maybe. We will see. Rory, what do you think about the steering?
So the steering wheel is different, isn't it? So you've got now a flat top and a flat bottom with a red center marker. I think it looks quite cool. The old one was just a pretty plain circle. You've got some Alcantara now, but you've got capacitive buttons on it, Christian, and we don't like capacitive buttons. We don't.
No.
Because you know what happens? You go around the corner, you're driving fast, you accidentally press them.
Press them, yeah.
So
You want me to write this down as one of your comments then?
Yes,
okay.
please. Capacitive buttons. I'm not a fan unless they're executed really well.
Yeah.
So that suspension feature that I was demonstrating earlier, what's the whole purpose of that? What's the idea behind it?
The idea was to enhance both comfort and driving dynamics, as we are a Gran Turismo, so we are aiming to enhance the comfort as well as the dynamics.
Is the system a bit like the Audi A8, where it's kind of like predicting the road ahead and kind of like leaning and jumping over?
Yeah, we can say, or you can say, it's the next generation of this active suspension. So it's not using the camera to detect road surface, it's done by the dampers itself.
I see.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool?
What?
Is if you had a button on the steering wheel and you could press it to jump over potholes.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or like when you park up outside a restaurant, you press it and it does the whole like movement to impress your friends.
Yeah, and maybe to jump over the camels?
Definitely. Can you make a note of that?
I will.
We need a button on the steering wheel for the suspension.
Yeah, how do we call it? Is it the camel button?
Camel button.
Camel
Sure,
button.
let's do that,
Okay,
yes.
camel button needed.
Exactly what is happening when you're going through a bend? Is the car literally leaning into the corner?
Yeah, you can a little bit compare it with a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it's leaning in the opposite direction to give the car more stability and also more agility. Also the pitch control when accelerating and braking.
So when you accelerate, it keeps the car flat.
Yeah.
I see. And then when you brake,
Yeah.
the nose doesn't dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel that.
You can feel it.
That's an improvement, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
The current e-Tron GT, the suspension in that car is quite loose.
Okay.
So you're moving around quite a lot. You've got these micro movements that give you what I call head toss. So your head is doing that constantly as you're driving around.
Yeah. How would you rate this then?
Well, wait a minute. How does it work in dynamic mode as well? Is it leaning more? Is it leaning differently?
Now we put this into the comfort mode because the tilting function and the pitch control function is linked to the comfort mode, but we also enhance the dynamic mode as well.
I see.
Should we switch in this mode?
Yeah, put on dynamic. Let's see what that feels like.
Yeah. Now it's on dynamic.
So I'll go through the corner in dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't feel the same kind of
Yeah.
tilting on the inside,
Yeah.
but you do still feel the rear wheel steering.
Yeah.
You've changed the suspension in terms of feel and kind of feedback as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can feel more through the steering.
Yeah. You also enhanced the steering. How do you like it? Is it more precise than the previous one?
It does feel like an improvement. What I will say is that I really wanted the e-Tron GT to have steering that feels like the Taycan.
Okay.
I know you're not going to like me saying that, but if it had Taycan steering feel, I
Yeah.
think it would be a better car. I'm sorry, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But this is an improvement.
It's
right?
improvement, yeah.
This brings it maybe a bit closer
Yeah.
to the Taycan.
Yeah.
But not too
Not
exactly,
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you evaluate the precision of the steering? Do you like it?
I think it's really precise, you know. I think even little movements result in big turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have to be quite gentle with it,
Yeah.
but the precision is definitely, I'd say, improved over the current car.
Yeah.
The steering's better in this car.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job. All right, then let's come back to our questionnaire. One question is, very funny word, dosability of the accelerator.
Doability. It's not a word we use. Is this a common one in German?
I think this is used by our engineers.
This is what your German engineers think that
Yes.
the English people say.
Yeah.
Okay. Doability. Does that mean how like easy
Yeah.
it is to use?
Yeah, and also like the feeling on the pedal.
Okay. So in terms of the accelerator,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to go into comfort mode. Is that the efficient? No, let's do comfort.
Comfort, yeah.
And then we'll accelerate. Yeah, it's easy to modulate, we say.
Okay, yeah, modulate.
The modulation is easy.
Yeah.
That's good. And then the brakes, they're quite sudden. They're more sudden than the current car.
Yeah.
So on the current car, you push the brakes and
Yeah.
they sort of work okay. But then as you get towards the object you're trying to not collide with,
Yeah.
you realize I'm not stopping as much as I should be. So you push more.
Yeah.
But with this, they're more consistent.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you have to push more.
Yeah.
No, they're better. The brakes are better.
Yeah.
They're more dosable.
Dosable. How would you rate them then? 1 is very good, 6 is critical.
Okay, 1 is very good, 6 is critical. I'd probably give it a... They're still electric car brakes, so there's
Yes.
always a bit of like funniness with the regen interfering with the physical braking. So it can't be a 1. I'm gonna give it a 2 because it's quite good.
Yeah, okay.
But on the public road, the 2's plenty good enough.
Yeah, very good, very good. What about interior acoustics? Did we speak about this again? What do you think about this?
Interior acoustics are improved. So that was one of my problems with the current car, is that on the motorway it could be quite not noisy, but you could hear the wind noise and the road noise from the really big tires. And I'd say that only happens at around 70 miles an hour. But doing about that right now, it's definitely quieter. Is it because you put this cloth condom?
Yeah,
all
maybe,
over?
maybe.
This is
also
helping a little bit,
maybe contributing something to the interior acoustics as well.
Okay, but it's better.
Okay.
It's better. Tell me about the range. So the battery in the current e-Tron is 93 kilowatt hours ish.
Yeah.
Does this have a bigger battery?
We will see. We will see. Can't speak about details as this is the prototype.
Okay, fine. All right. But will the range be better?
Yeah.
Is that your aim? It will be.
Oh,
have
it's the
better
aim.
range.
It's the aim, of course. Of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
And also charging power.
So we're at 270 kilowatts now. aren't we?
270. This is also something which we took into consideration. Yeah.
So are you able to increase the speed of the charging with the current hardware and software, or do you have to change hardware to increase the speed?
Yeah, there's the change in hardware is necessary.
Okay, so the hardware will be changing.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting to know. You're still using the 800 volt architecture?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right, interesting. All right, so quite a substantial upgrade on the previous car then, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rory, how do you like the e-Tron Sport sound? The sound we can hear inside the car.
Can you put me into comfort and I'll rate the comfort sound?
Yeah.
So that's
Comfort.
That's comfort.
Comfort.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay.
Sounds like my washing machine. No, I'll put it into dynamic.
Dynamic. Yes. How does this sound?
Okay, that sounds like my washing machine's angry at me. No, but it's good. It's quite good.
Yeah.
No, that is good. I like the sound. The one thing I don't like is that you can't turn the sound completely off. So if I'm parked up outside my house, for example, there's this like low pitched kind of rumbling, like.
But this is due to legal regulations. You need to have a certain sound while driving very slow.
To let people know that the car's moving.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Coming to the last point, it's the overall impression. Maybe you can compare it with the current car you're already driving right now.
Okay, I don't like to give a score to prototypes because they're not finished yet.
Yes.
But it's very impressive. There's definitely more power.
Yeah.
I'm talking 700 or 800 horsepower in this thing.
We will see.
That's what it feels like. So I think the car looks better as well. The design is improved, especially at the front end.
Yeah.
And it's also quieter. So in terms of overall score, what are we giving it? Is it up to 6?
Yeah, it's up to 6. Yeah, 1 to 6.
And one is good, 6 is terrible?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give it a 6. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, you know, on first impressions, I've got to give it a 2. I can't give it a 1.
Yes.
Because
it's not finalized.
You are going to improve it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this car a 2, Christian.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you. Very good. But if you released it right now as it is, I'd be super happy.
Okay.
This is a big improvement on the current car.
Yeah, great to hear. Thank you.
Will Christian keep his word? We shall see. But regardless, the new e-Tron GT looks like it's on its way to being a big improvement on the current car, which is saying quite a lot. We'll get to drive the final example, hopefully with my feedback baked in later this year. Until then, thanks for watching, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.